Give me the portion of goods that falls to me. So he divided them his livelihood. And not many days after, the young son gathered all together, journeyed to a far country, and there wasted his possessions with prodigal living. But when he had spent all, there arose a severe famine in that land, and he began to be in want.
And next, the next person who is reading.
To a certain, it says, and he went and joined himself to a citizen of the country, of that country, and he sent him into his fields to feed swine. 16, and he would fain have filled his belly with the husks that the swine did eat, and no man gave unto him.
Now, who is reading 17 through to 21? Yes? I want it read well. That's the word. That's the exact word.
Verse 17 says,
Yes.
But when he came to himself, he said, how many of my father's hired servants have bread enough and to spare, and I perish with hunger? Okay. 18, will I rise and go to my father, and I'll say to him, Father, I've sinned against heaven and before you. 19, and I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants. 20, and he arose and came to his father, but when he was still a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion, and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. 21, and the son said to him, Father, I've sinned against heaven and in your sight, and I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. 22.
Just up to that end.
Okay.
Hello? Oh, yeah, read 22.
22, but the father said to his servants, bring out the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hands and sandals in his feet.
Put a ring on him. Put a ring on his hands.
On his hands and sandals on his foot. 23, and bring the fatted calf here and kill it, and let us eat and be merry. 24, for this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. And they began to be merry.
They began to be merry. Amen? We have read, Wangapi wamesoma Biblia zao? Now get into it. Remember, I said the central portion of the text is verse number 17. Now read verse 17 in that King James as it was read. And when, it's even here very clear. But when he came to himself, I think if I were to translate this into Kiswahili, I would say, na aliporudi kwake. Ama alipojirudia. See, that's what it means here. But when he came to himself. I don't want to go philosophy, theology, but we are on English alone. That there is a time he came to himself. The young man came to himself. What does that mean? Let me get someone. What does it mean here? There is a time he came. Yes. Thank you.
To mean that at times we are not one, and at time we can separate from one. So this person at a given time, from verse 11, something went wrong, so he was alone. But now in verse 17, the two want to join together. Something that has come out from him want to come back, so you see things in a clear perspective.
Right. We are in this class, verse 17. But when he came to himself, before I go to what he spoke, coming to oneself means what? We are studying Luke number 17. There is a very serious message here.
I think this gentleman, he lost his mind at a certain point. He was not clearly seeing what his father meant for him. And so when he came back to himself, when his mind came back to have the reality, he realized that he had gone against his father, and his father was the only one who could rescue him.
Thank you. Yes, somebody speaking from there. You know, these lights are so direct on me that I'm not able to see people beyond there. Yes.
He was far away from reality. But when that reality dawned on him, he came back to himself, said there's something unique he discovered within himself.
Amen. Are we together really? We are talking about this young man. And this is the turning point, and that is where the real message of believers is rested.
Sometimes we say that experience is the best teacher. So this young man, he was young in age means he did not know of so many things. So he went out and met problems and learned for himself. So now experience is the best teacher. He's coming back to his senses.
One more. Number 17. Verse 17. All right. Yes. Is there anybody who is reading with us? Chief Justice, you don't have a word? It begins, but when he came to himself.
I think this man,
yes,
he asked himself, he was asking himself questions after getting problems. He asked himself questions after problems.
Okay. Sawa. Let me say this, beloved. The statement begins, this verse 17 says, but when he came to him, this is what I want us to get well. When he came to himself. I thought when you were reading there, you would also look back to those first parts and the words that follows after he has spoken that. There is a time that he came to himself. What this simply means is this. So there is a possibility you may be seen there, walking, doing certain things in this life, and we even put so many blames, we record so many unique things about you, yet that is not even you. It's your figure and body, but you have sincerely walked off yourself. a human being can get out of himself. Hello? A human being. The first thing that you should note here is that people, if you're not careful, including me, there are certain things that I may do. And if there are not things that are in order with what is speaking after this, it means it may not be me in me. I might have dropped myself off and remained something else. Now verse 11 says of the parent who had 2 sons, one of them rose and began to speak like this. So there are languages that when spoken, even by you or by your child, we really need to listen carefully. Are we listening to you or a body of you that is empty of you? There are certain things that we can do. Logically, portion that falls on a man in their upbringing was supposed to be given at the father's death. You claim an inheritance when the owner is dead, but you can't talk of get it to me while he still lives. And so when such a question comes, it means the one claiming a portion while the testator is still alive is not in himself. I have discovered that this young man, before he left home, before he left home, he first left himself. Is somebody getting me? Before he walked out of his father's compound, he first of all walked out of himself. Because the line says, and when he came to himself, he's saying, I'll rise and go to my father.